Is Justin Frye finally getting it? We discuss. This weekend, Ohio State had multiple players coming for a surprising visit to Columbus. Trey McNutt out of Cleveland, Ohio, came. Zion Grady came from Alabama. An edge player, Malik Autry, a defensive line player from Alabama, came as well. And the name that everybody is talking about, David Sanders Jr., offensive tackle from Charlotte, North Carolina. Ohio State is in his top 6. He does have a crystal ball in for Clemson. Those other 3 guys all deserve talking about too, but this is the big one with all the stuff that's going on around Justin Frye. Can he recruit? Can he finally get outside of Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and actually go recruit somewhere that's not in the Midwest? Let's talk about it. Before we do, let's just make sure we know how good this David Sanders Jr. guy is, okay? This guy is fantastic. The lowest he is on any recruiting service is number 6 overall nationally. This isn't number 6 overall tackle. Nationally, On3 has him as 6th overall, the second highest rated tackle, first in North Carolina. Every single ranking service has him first in North Carolina. On3 is the only one that has him as a second offensive tackle. The On3 industry rankings, 24/7, the 24/7 composite, even ESPN has him first, and Rivals has him first as the offensive tackle. ESPN and On3 have him lowest nationally. Like I said, On3 has him 6th. ESPN has him 4th. Even the On3 industry rankings have him 2nd overall, 24/7, the 24/7 composite, and Rivals also have him 2nd overall. This guy is awesome. All right. I mean, some of his measurements, his height is like 6'6", somewhere in that range. On3 has him 6'5", 24/7, and Rivals have him at 6'6". His huddle has him at 6'7". He's also 270, so a little bit on the lighter side, but I mean, you put him in the right environment with the right strength and conditioning program. You give him to Mick, and he's going to have this kid ready. He's really smart with his leverage, though. He doesn't play super heavy where he needs all that weight to throw around. You watch him. Yeah, granted, it's in high school with some higher play, some smaller players, but at the end of the day, he really does a good job being able to get leverage from lower and not rely too much on the weight of his own power to do that. His arms, this is the most impressive thing about him. His arms as a high school senior, he has 36-inch arms. I mean, that's incredible for him to have 36-inch arms all together. So these are the same arm lengths as Amaris Mims, who just got drafted into the NFL. And if you were to put him in the 2024 NFL draft, he would be in the 90th percentile in arm length among those guys who got drafted. So we're talking about somebody who's not even 18 yet being the same arm length or higher than some of the guys who just got drafted into the NFL. Absolutely crazy. Power cleans 365 pounds. I mean, just the way he is able to not only to have strength, but also to utilize his strength, displacing pass rushers rather than trying to power them off and getting swung by. It's fantastic. So let's talk about where is he going to go. Well, right now he has the top 6 where he has Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Ohio State. Let's start with the big dogs. Georgia, they are the current On3 favorite with their recruiting predictions. He has an official visit set up for June 7th there. That is his 3rd to last official visit. Clemson does have a crystal ball in from Tom Loy, who Tom Loy has. He's done very well with his crystal balls, except he did miss out on Marquise Davis going to Michigan. He had a crystal ball there. He did miss out on that one, so it is possible Tom Loy is somebody who can miss. It's interesting, but all these guys, they'll switch their crystal ball at the last second just so that way they don't get it wrong. But anyway, he didn't do that with Marquise Davis, but his official visit for Clemson is set for May 31st. Alabama, they are 3rd on 3, and June 18th is his official visit with them, so the 2nd to last official visit. I apologize. Georgia is 4th last because he has a weird thing where it's Alabama and Tennessee. Tennessee, his official visit with them is June 14th, so he's visiting very close there to Alabama. And South Carolina, he actually visited them on April 19th, so he doesn't currently have another official visit scheduled with them. I've not heard much buzz. I kind of scoured around their message boards and stuff like that. Not really a whole lot of talk about him. So South Carolina doesn't seem to be somebody we're worried too much about. But Ohio State, like I said, he just visited this weekend. He gets the last scheduled visit right now with Ohio State on June 21st. If you follow recruiting at all, you know they say follow the visits all the time. And somebody who has the very last visit for a guy generally has a pretty good shot with them. So let's talk about, can Ohio State actually land David Sanders Jr.? Well, something I actually like to do that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, but I do think it's important when you look at these things is, what other players have come from that state or that school to your university. Obviously, somebody like from Ohio, we're not going to do this with, but somebody like North Carolina, where there's good talent coming out of there, but it's not always the best talent in the world. This isn't Florida. This isn't Texas. This isn't California. But David Sanders Jr., he's a good talent coming out of there, very good talent coming out of there, and you don't always see this kind of talent. So the last players that we have got, notable players that we have gotten from North Carolina. Noah Rogers, he just transferred out this year, so only spent 1 year with the Buckeyes. Evan Pryor, he's now down at Cincinnati. He spent 3 years with the Buckeyes. The only guy that we've ever got from David Sanders Jr. High School is Jacoby Cohen. I actually don't remember him all that much, but I don't remember him much because he transferred out after 2 years with the Buckeyes. He did appear in 5 games in 2021, and he tallied 3 tackles as a redshirt freshman. But he did redshirt his freshman year, so that's probably one of the reasons why you don't remember him a whole lot there. But he was a 2020 commit. And then, of course, the guy from North Carolina, everybody will remember. I don't know if you remember, he's from there. But Tyquan Lewis was on the national championship team. He was a 2013 recruit. He did redshirt his first year, but he did play in, I think, 8 games his second year, the year that we won the national championship. And he did end up being a second-round pick to the Colts. And if I'm not mistaken, he's still with the Colts now. In 2018 is when he was picked. So very good situation there. Ohio State has signed a total of 8 players from North Carolina since 2010. They had 1 player, Derek Morris, in 2002. And then, like I said, Jacoby Cohen, the only player ever from Providence Day School where David Sanders Jr. is from. So not a region that Ohio State has necessarily recruited a ton, but we have landed one in the past 3 cycles. We have landed one every year except for 1 year in the past 4 cycles. So 2020, 2021, 2023, we missed out on a North Carolina recruit in 2022, but we landed them all in the other ones there. So obviously some good work being done by the Buckeyes recruiting staff down in North Carolina. We'll see if it can be fruitful here with David Sanders Jr. Justin Frye has offered 25 offensive linemen, according to 24/7, focusing in on David Sanders, Josh Petty, and Andrew Stargell. He is a center down out of Georgia. If not heard much about him, it's because he doesn't have a ranking yet, and Ohio State is one of the only teams that's on him for giving him an offer that is a highly rated team. I think he had maybe a Louisville offer or something like that, but contender-type teams, Ohio State's one of the only ones. Bill Kurlick also talks a lot about Douglas Utu, UTU, if you're looking for how to pronounce that or say that. He talks a lot about him, so he could be another one there. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to get at here is, yes, they've got Carter Lowe committed, but Ohio State's really going after some of these 5-star guys. Like I said, David Sanders Jr. is really going after Josh Petty, this kind of underranked Andrew Stargell guy. But at the end of the day, Ohio State, I mean, just to meet their scholarship limit, they have to get at least 3 offensive linemen in this portal cycle. So it's going to be, or not portal cycle, this recruiting cycle for them. So it's going to be really important that they get a number of offensive linemen, and who better to start that with than Carter Lowe and David Sanders Jr. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about the Ohio State visits. Sanders did visit Ohio State back in April. So he came and visited Ohio State in April. The last weekend in April, Justin Frye went to go visit him. And then David Sanders Jr. shows up the first weekend in May at Ohio State. And then he gets the very last visit in June, the very last visit that he has scheduled right now. So if you follow any of these recruiting experts, they always say, follow the visits. And if you're asking me, seems like David Sanders Jr. is visiting Ohio State and getting visited by Ohio State more than anybody else. I don't know what Tom Loy is doing with the crystal ball in for Clemson. I heard that maybe at one point Clemson was trending for him, but it looks like that is no longer happening to the level that people thought It once was. And so, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for Justin Frye recruiting here, if this was somebody with a better recruiting background, better recruiting chops, I'd say Ohio State is number one. But Justin Frye still does worry me. His top recruits rarely come out of Ohio, Indiana, or Michigan. Josh Simmons was basically his only guy that he's gotten out of Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana, and that was a transfer portal guy. And yes, he is quite athletic and able to do some things, and hopefully we'll have a good season this year. We'll see. But at the end of the day, only one top 50 recruit all time, even when he was back at UCLA, Justin Frye, all time, only one top 50 recruit, and that being Carter Lowe, who is still only committed, not even signed on the dotted lines yet. I think we keep Carter Lowe, but at the end of the day, Chip Kelly and Ryan Day are getting extra involved here. So if you ask me what the chances are for Ohio State to get David Sanders Jr., if it was anybody else on Ohio State recruiting them, I'd say great. Things are looking fantastic. But like I said, since it's Justin Frye, I kind of hold my breath. I want to be optimistic. I want to feel good. I want to feel like Ohio State is either one or two in this race. Everything that I'm looking at on paper says that Ohio State is either one or two in this race right now, and they just need to finish the deal. But then I look and see who's recruiting him, and it's Justin Frye. He's just not had the history of landing some of these higher level recruits. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Justin Frye can make it happen and actually land David Sanders Jr. Oh boy, what a recruiting cycle it would be for him to go land the in-state Carter Lowe, who's actually up in Toledo, so up north there a little bit. But to land him, to land David Sanders Jr. and hopefully land some of these other guys that he's looking at as well, just would be a fantastic recruiting cycle for Justin Frye. We'll see if he can make it happen. Everything is there for him to do it. If Justin Frye does not land this one, Justin Frye may never land a 5-star outside of the state of Ohio ever, because everything is there with how much Ohio State has visited him, with how much he has visited Ohio State, with how he has the schedule set up for Ohio State. The pressure is on Justin Frye here. You could argue that the pressure is on Justin Frye here to land David Sanders Jr. as much as the pressure is on Ryan Day to win the national championship this year. It's all there. It's all ready for him. He can make this happen. All he has to do, seal the deal. You have the visits. You've gone and been with them. Chip Kelly, Ryan Day, they are involved, and they are making sure that they are doing everything they can. Justin Frye, sign David Sanders Jr. We need it. You need it. Ohio State needs a good offensive line. Bring him here.